Hi guys, my name is Carla. I am forever jetlagged and welcome back to my channel. Today's episode will be a little bit different. I am not gonna give any tips to people who want to become cabin crew. I decided to make a video talking about some information that you might want to know if you decide to travel one day. The points that I'm going to mention in the video are from a crew perspective, are things that I realized passengers don't know, and I decided to try to educate people so we can have an easier life as cabin crew. So let's get started. First of all, I would like to apologize if my voice is a little bit weird or if I seem like I don't have enough energy. I am a little bit sick and I cannot talk too loud. I hope that's not gonna be an issue throughout the video. For those of you who don't know, my name is Carla. I am from Romania and I used to work for Emirates Airlines for 4 years. Once COVID started, I stopped flying, but I learned a lot of things by being cabin crew. I discovered a lot of places, a lot of cultures, and I encourage everyone to do it. However, today I decided to talk about some of the misconceptions that passengers have that make the cabin crew life a little bit harder. I do believe that this video is not only for passengers, it's also for people that want to be cabin crew. This video will help you know what challenges you might face with regards to the passengers, and maybe it will help you be prepared for these situations so they don't take you by surprise. I hope you enjoy the video, whether you are a future cabin crew or just a passenger. The first point I want to talk about is that flights can get delayed or cancelled. Cabin crew have no idea why or how to stop it. A lot of times it has happened that we were delayed, we were waiting in the airport, and passengers would come to us and ask us why the flight is delayed, what is happening, when are we gonna leave. As cabin crew, you don't have a lot of information with regards to flight scheduling. We know as much as the passengers know. Maybe there is an issue with the aircraft, maybe there was a delay with the previous flight. There is so many reasons that a flight could be delayed or cancelled, and usually more than 90% of the times we have no idea why. So asking a crew or getting upset at a crew that they don't know or thinking that they don't want to tell you is wrong, because that's not true. If we would know, we would tell you, but most of the times we don't know. And continuing with flight scheduling, cabin crew cannot see the future and cannot tell you if you will make it to your connecting flight. For example, you have a very short connection in a certain destination. This has happened millions of times to me, that we are on a flight, we are close to landing, and a lot of people would ask me, what time exactly are we gonna land? My next flight is at this time. Am I gonna make it to my connection? I cannot tell you if you will make it. I can help you maybe get off the plane first so you save a little bit of time, but I cannot guarantee that you will make it to your connecting flight or not make it. My advice here is always book your flights with a minimum of 2-3 hours connection time. You don't know if your first flight will be delayed, you don't know if your second flight will be departing on time. Sometimes you have to collect your luggage, sometimes you don't have to collect your luggage. There's a lot of procedures, and just to be safe, don't book any flights that have a very short connecting time, because chances are you're gonna miss that flight. Also, crew cannot upgrade you for free. No matter how much you ask, no matter how much you complain, crew do not have the authority to upgrade you from economy class to business class or from business class to first class for free. There is an option to upgrade on board as long as you make a payment, but there is no free upgrades that crew can give. This only comes from management, from ground staff, from other authorities within the airline that can offer that. Crew have no power with regards to the upgrades. And especially they can never give you free upgrades. And since I mentioned the ground staff, crew have no idea why you got an aisle seat instead of a window seat, or why the ground staff changed the seat that you booked. What crew can do is, once the boarding is finished, and this is very important, you have to wait for the boarding to be finished. So once the boarding is finished, if the flight is not full, maybe the crew can change your seat. But as long as you come on board upset and you request to change your seat during boarding, or you ask the crew why your seat was changed, we cannot give you an answer on that. We have no idea why the ground staff did that. We have no power in changing your seat. That was not a decision that we made. The best we can do is ask you politely to wait until boarding is finished so we can check which seats are available, and if a seat is available for you, of course we will move you. But if you ask us why, we're not gonna have an answer on that. Another point that I think is very important, and it happens so many times on board, crew do not cook the meal, they just offer it. If your meal is too spicy, if your meal is too salty, if your meal is not what you expected, that is not the crew's fault. There is a catering company that cooks the meals, that brings them on board. The only thing that we do is heat up the meals and serve it to you. So if you don't like your meal, of course you can tell us, but don't blame us, because it's not us who cook the meals. It's the catering team. If you don't like it, we can raise a complaint. We can mention that you didn't like the meal, but that's about it. That's about how far we can go with regards to adjusting your meal. And staying on the subject of meals, you have to remember, you are on an airplane. You are not in McDonald's or a restaurant. You are in the air, and sometimes your meal choice might not be available. Again, remember, you are on an airplane. You are not in McDonald's. You cannot request your meal preference. Airlines have come so far. They try to offer the best service. They try to give you options, but that is not always possible. Please remember and be mindful that it is not the crew's fault that sometimes they might not have your meal choice. They will always try to accommodate your requests, but it's not always possible. So please be understanding. Realize that if your meal choice is not available, the crew cannot order it, they cannot cook it, they cannot prepare it, and they will give you what they have. Moving on. Turbulence. I know it's scary. I know a lot of people don't understand exactly what turbulence is, but turbulence is not the captain's fault and is not the crew's fault. Turbulence happens when the aircraft goes through a gap of air. It can be scary, like I said. It can be a little bit bumpy. As long as you listen to the crew instructions, you will be fine. And you don't have to blame the captain or the crew for it. It's something that happens with every aircraft, almost on every flight. You just have to listen, like I said, to the crew instructions. Don't be scared. There was never a plane crash that happened because of turbulence. Turbulence just happens. It's a little bit bumpy. I always say it's like a roller coaster ride, and that's it. You will be safe as long as you sit down and you fasten your seatbelt. And speaking of the crew's instructions, please watch the safety video or pay attention when they do the safety demonstration. They are doing it for you, and the video is there for you. The crew, they know it by heart. They know exactly what they have to do. Even if you are a frequent flyer, even if you've watched it on different airlines a million times, most people in an emergency situation will probably panic, they will freeze. The best thing you can do is be prepared. That means pay attention to the safety demonstration or pay attention to the safety video and try to remember everything that they teach you there, all the instructions that they are giving you there. Because if panic sets in, it would be harder for the crew to help you. So you want to make sure you know what to do in case anything happens, and that's by watching the video or paying attention to the safety demonstration. And the last 2 points that I want to mention are sort of a myth that I heard, and it's with regards to giving birth on board. If you give birth on board, your baby will not get free tickets for life. This was ages ago, especially in Emirates. I know they had this policy, but it was ages ago, and then a lot of people started flying just to try to give birth on board, and Emirates stopped this. I don't know about other airlines, but as far as I know right now, no airline offers free tickets for life for your baby if you give birth on board. The second myth that I heard is that if you give birth on board, your baby will get the nationality of the country you are flying over. Again, it's false. Every country has a policy with regards to that, but most countries will not give your baby the nationality. Even if you are in their airspace, there is no benefit for them to give your baby that nationality. These things don't happen. Don't try to get on board and give birth just to have these benefits, because you will not get them, and it's not gonna be an easy birth for you to do it on an airplane. So if you're pregnant, follow the rules. Don't fly in your last few weeks of pregnancy. Just trust me, it's way better to do it on ground. It's way better to do it with a medical team next to you, and more than that, you will not get the benefits that people are talking about. So it's not worth it. That's about it with regards to the info that I wanted to give to passengers and maybe to future crew as well, so you know what to expect. Again, I am a little bit sick. I don't have the same energy as always, but I promise next week I will come back with a video on the training experience, the 2 months of training experience. Some of you asked me in the comments to talk about that, so next week you will get it. I'm gonna talk about my experience in training and in Dubai, the first 2 months in Dubai. How is your life? What do you learn in training college? Everything that I can remember, because it's been a while since I was in training, but I'll try to remember as much detail as possible and tell you guys everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a different video than my usual ones. I will try to educate people on flying as well as giving tips to future cabin crew. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you have any questions or any suggestions, as always, leave them in the comments. I will reply to each and every one of you. Subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications so you know when I post a new video. Like this video, and I will see you guys next week with my training experience. See you soon. Bye.